The fluorescent lights of St. Mary's Hospital emergency room buzzed overhead as I clutched my phone, waiting for news about Arjun. My hands were still shaking from the call I'd received 2 hours earlier. A car accident on Highway 91. Critical condition. Come immediately. That's when the nurse in blue scrubs approached me, clipboard in hand, her expression puzzled. She looked at me, then at her papers, then back at me. "Mrs. Sharma?" she asked hesitantly. "Yes, I'm here for my husband, Arjun Sharma, the accident victim." She frowned deeper. "Ma'am, I need to tell you something. That's not your husband in there. The man we have is registered as Arjun Sharma, but there's already a Mrs. Sharma here. She arrived an hour ago." The world tilted. I gripped the plastic chair beside me, my wedding ring catching the harsh light. "That's impossible. I'm his wife. We've been married for 12 years. The nurse's voice softened. "Perhaps you should sit down." Through the glass partition of room 203, I saw him, my Arjun, unconscious, tubes and monitors surrounding him. But beside his bed sat a woman I'd never seen before. She was holding his hand, crying, wearing a Mangolsutra identical to mine. My mind raced back through the past months, the late nights at the office that had become more frequent, the weekend conferences in Mumbai that I'd never questioned, the new gym membership he'd insisted on, saying he wanted to stay healthy for us, the password changes on his laptop that he'd blamed on company security policies. But this? A complete double life? Another wife? The nurse guided me to a quiet corner. "The woman inside, she has a marriage certificate dated 2019. She lives in Pune. They have a 2-year-old daughter. We'd been married since 2012. I pushed open the door to room 203. The woman looked up, mascara streaking her cheeks. We stared at each other. Two wives at the bedside of one dying man. "Who are you?" she whispered. "I'm his wife," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "From Delhi. And you?" "Priya," she said. "His wife from Pune." We sat in suffocating silence until I pulled out my phone, showing her my wedding photos, our home, 12 years of memories. She showed me hers, a registry marriage, a small apartment, baby pictures. Her daughter had Arjun's eyes. The doctor entered, breaking our tense standoff. "Family of Mr. Sharma?" We both stood. He looked confused, but continued. "He's stable, but unconscious. We found multiple IDs in his wallet. Different addresses, different emergency contacts. We've had to notify the police." Inspector Mehta arrived within an hour. A tall woman with kind eyes who'd seen too much. She took our statements separately, then together. The truth emerged, like a poison slowly spreading. Arjun had been living as a management consultant, using his traveling job to maintain 2 complete families in different cities. "This is more common than you think," Inspector Mehta said gently. "The digital age makes it easier to live double lives." Priya broke down. "He said his parents died when he was young, that he had no family except me." I almost laughed. His parents lived in Jaipur. We visited them every Diwali. Or did we? I realized I'd been going alone for the past 3 years, making excuses for his absence. The inspector pulled me aside. "There's more. We found bank accounts you don't know about, properties in other names. This goes deeper than just Bigamy. My successful husband, the man who remembered every anniversary, who helped my mother with her medical bills. He was a stranger." 3 days later, Arjun woke up. His eyes found mine first, then Priya's. The recognition, followed by sheer panic, told us everything. Sunita, he croaked. Then, Priya. We stood on opposite sides of his bed like guards at a gate. The doctor had advised us to stay calm, that stress could worsen his condition. But 12 years of marriage don't teach you how to stay calm when your life is revealed as a lie. How? Was all I managed. He closed his eyes. I never meant. Don't, Priya interrupted. Just don't. Inspector Mehta entered with a financial investigator. They'd uncovered the full scope. Arjun had been siphoning money from both households, investing in property under false names. He'd forged documents, created fake company letterheads for his business trips. The accident had occurred while he was driving to a third property we knew nothing about. Mr. Sharma, the inspector said formally, you're under investigation for bigamy, fraud, and forgery. When you're discharged, you'll be taken into custody. My phone lit up with messages from relatives who'd seen the news. Delhi man's double life exposed after accident. We'd become a headline, a cautionary tale shared in family WhatsApp groups. Priya's daughter was brought in by her sister. The little girl ran to her father's bedside, calling Papa. My heart shattered for this child, who would grow up knowing her father's love was built on deception. I met with lawyer advocate Raghavan that evening. You have grounds for annulment, she said. The marriage was fraudulent from the start. Plus, criminal charges will support your case. What about Priya? Her marriage came after yours. Legally, it's void. 2 women, 2 broken homes, 1 man who'd played God with our lives. But I wouldn't let him play victim now.
6 months later, I stood in the Delhi family court as the judge pronounced the annulment. Arjun, out on bail but broken, didn't contest it. His health had deteriorated after the accident. The double life had finally consumed him. Priya and I had formed an unexpected alliance. We shared lawyers, evidence, and sometimes over coffee, our disbelief. She decided to keep her daughter away from Arjun until the child was old enough to understand. How did we not see it? She asked one day. Because we weren't looking, I replied. We trusted. The criminal case concluded with Arjun serving 2 years in prison and paying hefty fines. Both properties he'd hidden were liquidated to pay restitution. His parents, mortified, cut ties completely. The man who'd juggled 2 worlds ended up with neither. Standing outside the courthouse, I removed my Mangal Sutra for the last time. Priya stood beside me, having already removed hers. What now? She asked. Now we rebuild, without him. I returned to my career, something I'd put on hold for his comfort. I started therapy, joined a support group for fraud victims. The shame wasn't mine to carry, it was his. Sometimes I wonder if there were signs I ignored, the receipts I never checked, the calls I never questioned. But love shouldn't require detective work. Marriage shouldn't be a crime scene. That nurse at St. Mary's Hospital had saved me with 6 words. That's not your husband. She was wrong, technically, but she was right in every way that mattered. The man in that bed wasn't the husband I thought I knew. He never was. Today I help other women identify financial fraud in relationships. Priya runs a legal aid center for abandoned wives. We turned our betrayal into purpose, our pain into power. To those listening, trust but verify. Love but don't lose yourself. Which city are you from? Share your story.